We going live?
What's your mic?
Okay, hello everybody. It's Deanne Fitzpatrick from Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio. And today is March 23rd, is it?
5th.
Oh, it's the 25th of March. I don't even know what day it is. It's Thursday. And I was just thinking as I was getting ready for this broadcast that we have done 52 lives, Angela.
Wow.
Because we have been going live for one full year. And it's pretty amazing, really, that we've done that, and we haven't missed one. And really, I think we're going to keep going. It's been lovely, and we're also now going live on Instagram too, which is really great. So today I've got a few things for you, and I'm working on I'm loving this shade of green right here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to hook some on this. And the other thing I'm going to show you is some of you have been asking about a book that I've ordered because I've been drawing flowers a lot. So, and I'm going to show you this project over here that I'm just getting started on right now. It's just an enormous blank canvas, but there's 8 rugs on here that I'm getting ready to make. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I may draw one out today, or I may not. I'm not really sure. So let's get ready for Thursday Live, and let's get hooking. That's what we're going to do. That's our most important thing, right? So today I'm going to show you some different. I'm using greens, and these are sort of seafoamy greens, some of which we have in our new green package. We have a new collection of greens. We have a lot of new yarns in the studio. I just want to show you. Also, I wanted to talk about how things sink into you. Like at our house, I was gifted an orchid many years ago, and then gifted another one, and then gifted another one. Then I bought one for Robert, and he keeps them in where he lays and watches TV. So I'd drawn these posies, and then all of a sudden, in the making of them, they turned into orchids, which I find kind of interesting that happened. And so right here, this was the gold I was working on last week, and you can see all that. We talked about how in a background there might be 20 golds, and you can see the velvet, and then I was using this velvet. And if you look on the website, you will see that we have many new shades of velvet in stock, and you can buy them individually. But this turned out really good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I haven't looked at it for a week almost. So it's good to see it again, to see how it actually looks. And I love the contrast. The thing I like about the colors in this rug, and as we're getting ready for color school, this is going to come up again and again. You know, some combinations are ideal. You know, we know that blue and orange, you know, Levi's knew what they were doing when they put orange thread on the Levi's. But we know that but what's really fun when you keep working with color is the idea that you create combinations that are unusual. And I find this turquoise and plum and pink and gold really kind of an odd combination, but a good combination. And this rug, when I look at it now, makes me happy. So these are 16 by 16. And then the next combination was I started the next day, and here's what I got so far. So this combination is very much like some of the orchids that I had at home, and I wasn't really drawing them. So let's play with the idea of an orchid, and let's start by putting some pink in the center. So do we have lots of people watching, you guys?
We do. We have over 300.
Oh, awesome. So that's great. And thank you so much for all the sharing that you do. I know that you share through the week. And when 300 people watch and you share, we're getting about 9,000 views on a lot of these videos. So sometimes up to 10,000. So that's pretty amazing to me. So what I like to do is I like to find a nice little textured yarn, like a yarn with an interesting texture. And then I don't like to just use pure white. How are you doing, Lorna, with yours? Do you need a hand?
I don't know.
Are you? I'm going to go check for you.
Just so you know, I was going to turn
I think you are, but I can't be sure. You can always stop and start again, but I think you're live. You want to hold it? Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think you've gone live yet, Lorna. Okay, let's see. All right, that's okay. We're going to try and figure out how to get this live for Lorna. So you want to go to your plus sign. Angela, you want to show them some of the velvets out in the front?
Sure.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
They're
So
beautiful.
we're going to go over here.
That you saw last week, the really bright colored velvets. So now we have these.
So, hi everybody on Instagram. Sorry about that. We're going live now. We had a little.
So if you're doing a neutral rug,
I'm hooking some orchids, and you can see
these would be gorgeous.
right over here. And so I live with orchids a lot. My husband has a bunch of them. They just happen to be in our house. They were gifts.
I think we're back.
One time or another. We're just going to get over here and hook the orchid. So what I usually do with something like this is I'll have the little sign, I'll have a little bit of texture in here. And it could be anything, like, you know, like this is a, let's go to my bin, because I always find the bin is a great place to look. Let's see. Oh, there's a little bit of hot pink velvet, and then this is a new yarn we have in stock. It's a New Zealand yarn that we got in, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of that. So what I try to do is just get a little interest in the center. You know, I'm not trying to hook an orchid exactly like an orchid is. I'm trying to hook something that will sort of make you think or feel an orchid, right? So this is and I think we could get a lot of this done today. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this creamy white yellow yarn, and I'm just going to really dig in around where I've already hooked and go out to the edges. And when I get out to the edges, I'm really wanting to blend in those colors to the edge, because so it looks like it's just a round circle, right? Right here, it just looks like kind of a little round circle. But just watch what happens when I go out to the edges and I really follow that outline. It gets these little pieces where I go out. That's what makes it, whoops,
Deanne, do you mind?
Interesting.
Do you mind just telling them to refresh? We had a little blip out there.
Oh, you had a little blip? Yeah. If you just want to refresh, if you're having trouble seeing us, just refresh your browser and it'll pop up again. We'll come up again. We're going live. And yeah, if you just refresh your browser, then you should get the new feed. Oh, this is really sweet. Okay, now, what I like to do now is I'm going to take some white, and you can see how very different those colors are. They don't look a lot different, you know, but when they're right next to each other, they're very different. So we're going to put some white in here as well. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to put white around, and you'll notice I didn't put it in that petal. I just put it in 3 of the petals, and that's because I just kind of want it to I want to kind of look organic, so we don't want so I'm just going to now finish up with this cream, and then that is actually, again, let's watch when I go around. This looks kind of like a little square, right? But when I dig in and get to the edges and think about my edges, because I'm reshaping this, right? I'm going right out to the edge, and then I come in again.
Rochelle wants to know what creams you're using.
This is a Studio Pick yarn. It's 75% wool and 75% alpaca, and I think 25% nylon. And it's just a light cream color. I don't know how much of it we have left, because it was something that we had from before. Again, now see this? This has a line here. This has an outline here that, you know, instead of just having one outline, I have 2 outlines. So sometimes when I draw my designs, I just try to sketch them on. So let's take that cream right there. And then let's take maybe the light pink and see what that looks like if I put underneath, because this is like a petal underneath a petal. And we'll see if we like that.
How do you know if you're not too crowded, like when you're putting these colors in?
How do I know? Well, it's the part of it is the feel. I can feel it, like I can feel, and I think you can really crowd up a small area of a rug. So there it is with the pink petal in behind it. Let's have a look at that. You can really crowd up a small area, and that looks pretty good, but let's take it out and let's try a white area underneath it and see if we like that better. I'm going to go with my white big merino because I just, it's a different white, and I think, yeah, we'll see it if we like the white better. Any more questions, you guys? Because I'm open to answering questions. That's why I'm here for you on Thursdays. So do we like the white better or do we like the pink better? Well, I like them both, but I think I'm going with the pink on this one. I think it just adds a little bit of interest, and I'm going to go with the pink. So you got to explore, and you got to pack it in sometimes into the really tight little areas of your rug, and that will be okay. So this is how now I kind of like the white better. But so this is, this could go on forever. I'm going to wrap it up with that. Now I want to hook in some background. So I'm just going to move my white wools, bring my background wools in. You'll see in this one I'm using a lot of cloth. I'm using some sari. And I'm going to pop in a little bit of, this is, what's this wool called? Do you remember, Angela?
Sparkling Stellina?
Yeah, the sparkling Stellina. And we have that dyed in a lot. And I'm going to take 3 strands of it, and I'm just going to use that in one spot here, like just 1 or 2, maybe a second spot, but just a line of it, just to give it a little. Okay, and we're going to try and, I don't know, do you think we could get this rug finished? I've also got some green here that needs to, I need some green cloth. So I'll just grab a little bit of green here and see if that's the right color.
Yeah, and I have a new hooker, and she's wondering what's the biggest mistake that she's going to make.
This is the one thing she's going to do a lot, and that's a really good question. Thank you for that question. She's going to hook a loop, bring her end up, and then she's going to hook again, and she's going to hook again, and she's going to pull that last loop out. So I'm going to do that again. This happens a lot. You start hooking, you bring your end up, you bring up your next loop, you bring up your next loop, and you pull it too hard, and you pull the last loop out. What you want to do is you want to bring up your loop, you want to bring up your next loop, and you almost want to hold that there, and then be conscious of that loop when you're bringing up the next loop. The other common mistake of new rug hookers is they hook too tight. So on this burlap, for example, if they hooked in every hole, well, if you do that once in a while because you want to show an accent like we did over here, that won't be a problem. But if you do it in every hole of every burlap, well, first of all, look how squat the wools are. They're all squashed together. So it doesn't allow the wool to full out. Like, wool is a beautiful material. It wants space. So it's squashed together. But what's going to happen too is that rug is not going to lay flat. It's going to be all bundled up. So that's 2 common mistakes. Let me think if I can think of a third common mistake that people do. Oh, this is another one. And they leave all their ends on the back side. You want to bring all your ends to the top side. So 3 common mistakes. Let's go over those again that rug hookers make when they're learning. The first one is they pull out their loop, their loop when they pull out their next loop. And all you have to do with that is be aware of the tension. Okay? The second common mistake is they pack in every hole. And they don't let the wool, you're not letting the wool express itself, right? That's one thing. That's a second common mistake. And the third common mistake is leaving all your ends on the bottom instead of bringing all your ends to the surface. So I'm going to see if I want this color in here. No, I don't. I'm going to have to get another green. So I'm going to now finish off this little area right here. And I could use a beautiful green, but I don't know what green I want to put in.
Oh, is that wool cloth, Deanne?
This is wool cloth.
People were wondering if you were still going to use wool cloth.
Oh my gosh, I use wool cloth all the time. I love it. But I use more yarn now than I do wool cloth, but it's still a very important part of my practice. And the thing that you have to think about is that, over 25 years or 30 years of hooking rugs, there are times when you're going to use a lot more wool cloth, and there are times when you're going to use a lot more yarn. But I think they're both really, really important elements of hooking rugs. There's no question about it. You can see I have some velvet in here, and Angela showed you our new velvets. I ordered a lot in very subtle colors, which I thought, where we're doing the mousse, we have the live mousse workshop coming up, and we'll spend a day together in that workshop. We're going to spend a whole Saturday together on Zoom, and it is a live workshop. I'll be there with you, and Angela will be there with you. We're gonna. I thought those neutrals. So in the package that I put together for the mousse course, I did add in some velvet, and I ordered some neutral velvet. So yeah, I still really love wool cloth. Like we just got a big order in of our European cream, and Greg has been dying. I think it's a really, really, to me, it's a very strong tradition in hooking rugs, so I don't think I'll ever move completely away from it. I love it.
What's a close-up of the hooked velvet?
What's that?
Wait for the close-up of the hooked velvet.
Of the hooked velvet. So right in here, Lorna, there's some right there and right there. You're good. You got 29 viewers on Instagram there. That's great. Okay. Yeah. And how many viewers do we have on... That's our velvet.
Over 400.
Oh, that's great today on Facebook. Thank you so much, all our Facebook viewers. Wonderful.
Do you ever use monk's cloth?
I don't, because it's really stretchy, and I don't really. I hooked a floor carpet once on monk's cloth, and I just didn't like the way it moved. But that's just me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great product, and people do like it. I like linen, and I like burlap.
Someone said this would be a great kit.
This would be a great kit.
I've got that too over here.
Yeah. The thing I got to tell you is that a lot of our rugs would be great kits, really, but we're just not able to make kits of everything that we make. But if you ever see something that you really love, you can always order a custom design. Yeah, we're just not able to make kits of, I hook a rug a week.
Yeah.
And
Your staff might boycott.
yeah, they just might say, I had enough of Deanne. That's it. We're done. Yeah.
What color wool cloth are you using?
This would be a shade of our robin's egg blue, I would say. That's what I cut up. Look at this. Now, see, this is the thing that I love, and this just happens. Look at this swirl. See how the cloth and the velvet and the sparkling stellina and the sari, they're all working together, and then that's going to make that a really interesting rug. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you actually look at this, it's going to make a really beautiful rug. Now, I want to show you the Dandelion rugs, but they're not bound or anything yet. But remember a couple of weeks ago we were doing dandelions. How are we doing for time, Angela? Because I want to finish this rug today. I got this in my head. I'm not going anywhere till this is done.
We got 11 minutes.
Oh, we got 11 minutes. It's amazing. You guys know what I can do in 11 minutes. What could happen here in 11 minutes? A lot. There's a lot can happen in 11 minutes. So Angela named her cat.
I did last
She named
night.
the cat last night. I texted her yesterday and said, "Did you name the cat?" And I was like, "Oh gosh, that cat's gonna be going around she's not gonna have any identity." But she does. She has a name. Yeah, Angela. And the name is
Rocco.
Rocco. And tell them why you said Rocco instead of. Because you told me today you wanted to have her. You wanted her to there's 3 animals in your house.
Yes. So Tuca is my Dutch Shepherd, and I didn't want to have a name that was similar, because if I yell to Tuca, I want her to come. I don't want the cat and the dog to get confused, so I wanted something with a different sound. So that's where I came up with Rocco.
Rocco it is. I think like that cat, she rocked the studio last week. Nobody got anything done here last week. I said to Robert when I went home for supper, I said, I think it'd be nice if like the cat came in every once in a while. He said, I think it'd affect your productivity.
That's what I thought when you said bring him back again. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to get fired because we're not going to get anything done.
Okay, so I'm just finishing up these yarns here. I think I do need to, I used a bit of mohair that we had left over from a kit design, which was, what design? That from Wildflowers in the Glen. That was a bit of leftover, and this is also a studio yarn. So I just wanted to say about how, well, there's two things going on the harbor, which I know only some of you are part of, but on the harbor Facebook page, and people are posting rugs that are just blowing me away. Like, I can see people's creativity growing. I can see them strengthening, especially the ones that have been there over a year. You can really see a difference. So I'm really pleased with that. But I'm also really excited about Wildflowers in the Glen and the work that you have made in Wildflowers in the Glen. Like, whether you drew it yourself or you chose our pattern or you did an inspiration from it. I don't know. How many have been posted so far? We've seen probably nearly 50, eh?
Yeah, there's been a lot. And
There's been a lot of them, and they are good. They are really good. And I know some of you are posting works in progress, and I'm just really proud of the work that's coming up and showing up. You know, you guys are making beautiful, beautiful rugs. I'm also really glad to have met you. So many of you, over 500 of you posted selfies. That was pretty amazing. Like,
that was a lot of fun.
that was a lot of fun. And I know Kathy is coming up with another idea for a Wild with Wool challenge. So pay attention. I also wanted to let you know that Angela and I are developing a course about creativity. And it will be a free course. It'll be our gift to all the people who watch, and it will be another free course on our website because we want to make sure that everybody gets the chance to learn with us. And a couple of you have mentioned that you are interested in making a video for the free course, and if you are, it's just what we want is you to tell us about your creativity and what rug hooking and creativity has meant to you. And if you want to do that, you're welcome to participate in it. We have, it's going to be a good course, I think. Angela's doing some research on creativity, and we have, there's going to be elements on it about creativity and wellness and just the importance of creativity in people's lives. So we are working on that, and that will probably be this summer. And that will be completely free to all of you. So we're excited about that.
Deanne, how do you join Wild with Wool?
Well, it's a Facebook page. So you just go, it's a Facebook group. So you just go to, excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Goodness. Excuse me. I don't have a cold. But you just go to Wild with Wool. Go to Facebook and search Wild with Wool, and it will come up. And you just sign up that you want to join the group, and then Kathy will let you in. And that's just how it works. It's very simple.
About your books or any on designing patterns and choosing wool and colors?
Let's see. Well, they all have elements of that. I think the most important one for that would be Simply Modern. Would be the main book for that. So I'm not going to be able to get all this done, even though I want it to, but I'll have it done next week. I'm going to show you a couple of things that we have now on our website. I showed you our new velvets, and I'm going to show you the rough. These are getting ready to go to be bound. And this was my Dandelion rug, so I'll just throw it down. But you remember, it's not clipped or pressed or bound yet. There we go. Right here. And I had a little, there's our little sugar camp, and I did a little rose, and I did a little owl. These are rough. They're not done yet. And this was the dandelion that I really liked. So there you go. Right there. So some of you said last week we didn't show you that, and I just wanted to make sure I got the chance to show you. And these are not clipped or pressed, and we'll show them to you again when they get clipped and pressed. Now, so today we did a lot of stuff. We talked about hooking like a posy to an orchid. We talked about the 3 common mistakes that rug hookers make. And we talked about blending backgrounds and how when you use movement in your background, you get really artistic and interesting things. And I just want to show you this. This is our greens over here, a greens collection. So we've done a blue collection and a neutral collection and a greens collection now. So this is available on the website now, and it is a limited collection, okay? We won't have tons of them, but in this collection, and we've done what you've asked for. We've got a portion of a skein of Big Merino, a portion of a skein of Sparkling Stellina, a portion of Sari Silk, and a portion of Curly Locks. Then we've got a beautiful swatch of wool cloth, like a good size swatch, big swatch. And then we've got 2 skeins, and this is very much like our background here, very much a similar color. We've got 2 skeins of our Peruvian wool, and then this one is our soft sister, which is really beautiful, and these are full skeins, okay? So this is a great collection. And we have it on the website now. And what's it called? It's just called our Greens Collection. So it'll be under collections?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And that's our Greens Collection. So there we go, right there. And Greg has dyed this collection. And I think we have, I don't know, we have more than 20, I think, but I'm not sure exactly how many have sold. I've got a string caught up here. There we go. And so that's it for this week at our live, and we're really happy that you paid attention and you came and that you learned 3 common mistakes. And whoever gave us that question, that was a really good question. And so if you can come up with a question next week, just ask it and we'll try and answer it.
Actually, I have one big one.
Oh, you have one big question.
Big caps, please tell us about that frame.
Oh, this frame? Well, this is a frame. We're going to be having frames made of cherry eventually. Too, some cherry woods. We're going to have a fancier. This frame is an old frame that I've had for years and years and years, and Grant made me this, and it's a Shedicamp frame. It just has really long rods, and we can only get the long rods once in a while because we have to have really dry lumber because they can't warp, right? So it's kind of like making a boat, you know, you gotta have the right wood for the job. And so this is one that I've had for a long time, and I'm going to start on a big project. And when you come back next week, I'll have hooked on that big project, and you can see some of it. So I'm going to be working on this frame next week, and this frame will just get tucked away for a couple of weeks. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know. I'll have to work this way, which will be weird because I don't think this frame will fit across the studio. So thanks everybody for watching. It's Thursday Live, and we're going to close out by looking at those velvets again, Lorna, because I don't think you showed the velvet. So we've got some new colors of velvet.
So any ideas on what color you're making the vase? A few of the ladies have asked.
Yeah, I think a taupey color. So there's our new shades of velvet. We got this soft pink, our maple taffy, vanilla bean, stardust. We've got jet black. We've got white up in the clouds. And then look at these colors over here. Our blues, and this is a nice soft green, which is very much, if you're ordering the green package, you might want to throw in a green velvet. So see ya. See you next week. I'm going. Bye-bye. I'm back. No, I'm back.
Okay, I need a favor.